2020's Spider-Man Miles Morales is just here for a good time. Beneath the mask, Spider-Man has always been a wisecracking superhero with a heart of gold. I'm pleased to report that Miles Morales doubles down on the fantasy of being Spider-Man, and also the attitude, delivering a wholesome, funny experience right from the jump that's woven into the fabric of the game. It brought me so much joy to play it, so I want to share some of that joy with YouTube. Let's check it out.
Gotta run. Hope it turned out okay.
The game starts with Miles just walking home. He lets someone go in front of him, helps someone load a couch into a truck, and lends a hand to some mural artists. The whole sequence is set to this Lecrae track with great lyrics and an upbeat vibe, establishing the tone of the game and what Miles is like as a person. This is quintessential Spider-Man. Neighborhood hero who's never been a problem too small to help solve.
Beautiful work, by the way. Maybe leave a little room for the new guy.
Not long after, you're in your first fight, teaming up with the other Spider-Man against the Rhino. And the dialogue had me laughing almost immediately.
Great arm! You ever pitch? Seriously, you're AAA easy. A whole new career just waiting for you.
I like how oftentimes you interact with people by helping them do something. It could be finding stolen Christmas presents or lifting boxes, putting up tents, things like that. Miles Morales introduces the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man app. It's small but fun. Like a lot of other things in the game, it's wholesome and funny. It manages to feel cool and hip without being lame. Like, of course Spider-Man would have an app. Though, my wife pointed out that an actual Spider-Man app would be flooded with requests, and people would resent Spidey for not answering them all, so maybe he wouldn't have an app. But also, it's nice because it's simply executed well. The user interface is straightforward with an unobtrusive window on the side and self-explanatory design. And one thing I like about it is that it lets you easily replay crimes you need to scoop up remaining challenges, whereas before you might just aimlessly wander the city until the specific type of crime you needed cropped up randomly. So it's not only charming, but it also enhances the game. Plus, look at this cute screen you get when you finish a request, like, come on! Speaking of cute imagery, it doesn't end there. Check the cute icons when the map is not available or your controller is disconnected. Shifting gears, I was blown away by the acrobatic animations they rendered in the first game. Miles Morales doubles and then triples down on this aspect of the web slinger. On top of new and jaw-dropping stunts on webs, players can now dip into an extensive list of mid-air tricks. They're a healthy mix of funny and cool, including some goofy phone stuff and other static poses. The aerial trick list is bananas in the best possible way. They're so intricate and creative. Watching Miles dance in free fall, stitching together trick after trick before a last-second recovery that seamlessly flows into a crazy swing animation. Dude, it's just one of the biggest flexes I've seen in a video game. I'm so impressed by the imagination of the animators who cooked up all the tricks and brought them to life so flawlessly. It's just pure eye candy for the player, and they come and go so fast, I worry the average player might not soak in the animations. So just make sure you stop and smell the proverbial coffee once in a while, alright? And while the game is overflowing with style and charm for its own sake, the aerial tricks also serve a gameplay end, albeit a small one. They help you rack up your venom meter, which you can deplete doing yet more stunts that can extend, well, your stunt combos. It's a great time. Spider-Man 2018 had one of gaming's finest photo modes, and it's single-handedly responsible for turning me into the photo mode enthusiast that I am today. Miles Morales largely carries over the photo mode from its predecessor, with a couple of additions and maybe one or two subtractions. As with other things we've covered, the photo mode lives in two worlds simultaneously. On the one hand, it's a technical marvel, and it can produce some mouth-wateringly beautiful images. On the other hand, it's also an absolute delight, and it's overflowing with charming and downright cute features. You can take omniscient camera screenshots, but you can also flip it over to selfie mode, which enables you to pick Spidey's eye emote, add lighting, and just stage some cool or goofy pictures. There are dozens of filters on tap, ranging from the standard to the not so standard. No other game I've played has photo filters that come anywhere close to the variety or expressiveness of Insomniac's two Spider-Man titles. There's also frames and stickers. They're silly, they're cool, they're classy. I could go on, but you get the idea. One of my absolute favorite features, returning like the photo mode from the first game, is the social feed. In one of your pause menus, you can scroll what is essentially an in-game Twitter feed, because of course both Spider-Man would have their own Twitter accounts, and they update with contextual commentary surrounding the game's plot, but over half of it is just straight up goofy stuff. I'd forgotten how funny it all is. It's comedy gold sometimes, with a mix of Spider-Man specific humor like, Why is Spider-Man up on this roof fighting holograms? Or, city never sleeps, but can I get a 20-minute power nap? As well as totally unrelated, hilarious stuff. But it never feels like it's trying too hard. It feels genuine. Like the people who wrote these fake tweets actually had fun doing it and wanted you to actually enjoy reading it. Shocking, I know. And sometimes when you're down on the surface rubbing elbows with the people, you'll get approached or accosted by strangers. They'll say things like,
Why do you keep changing the suit?
or ask for high fives or selfies. I love that somebody had the idea that if Spider-Man was real and running around the streets, people would come up to him. In a game designed to fulfill the fantasy of being Spider-Man, it's an unexpected but welcome part of the recipe. At one point, I jumped up on a truck and the driver yelled,
Get off my car!
I was so taken aback by this that I laughed out loud, and clearly I still think it's pretty funny. On 2 different occasions, Miles can rescue cats, including one named Spider-Man, so for those of you counting, that is at least 3 characters in the Insomniac Spider-Verse named Spider-Man. Plenty of funny lines of dialogue.
Right in. Are cats in backpacks like a thing?
This game is just so fun. The quippy dialogue, the tweets, the photo filters, and the selfie pose, it's just so airy and lighthearted. It just wants to have fun. In today's blockbuster movies and AAA games, humor increasingly comes off as just trying too hard. But Insomniac's writers have such a good pulse on how to write funny Spider-Man games that don't reek of insincerity. They're seriously funny. See what I did there? Sorry. There's a gag where Miles turns invisible and sticks his hand to a piece of paper by accident. That had me laughing out loud in real life. Some of the levity comes courtesy of a largely absent Peter, who manages to convey some funny lines via recording. Like this pigeon facts banter.
Pigeons. Howard Protocol
Hilarious.
now active.
Howard Protocol?
Welcome to Pigeon Facts, your source for daily fun facts about pigeons.
Oh, no. Unsubscribe.
But the fun stuff doesn't end there, folks. Every suit you unlock comes with a special ability. Now, most of them create some gameplay buff for Spider-Man, but the suit ability you unlock after buying the Into the Spider-Verse costume creates a purely cosmetic effect, and you might miss it. It animates Spidey on 2s. This is a technique used in traditional hand-drawn animation that was replicated very deliberately for Into the Spider-Verse, and it's so cool to watch here. I was cheering in my seat when I got this. Just look at this. Round of applause for Insomniac. The Spider-Man games live and die by their traversal mechanics, and Insomniac's locomotion is so fun, I basically never use fast travel. But I did enjoy 2 or 3 subway rides in the first game, because they provide these wholesome little cutscenes of Spidey taking the train like it's no big deal. While on the PS5, the SSD negates loading times and therefore loading screens. I was disappointed until I found out you can enable the scene in the settings. Come on. So delightful. I love this stuff, man. All right, I'm done. Typically in my videos, I'm picking the gameplay apart with a fine-tooth comb. Without taking another 10 or 15 minutes, I'll just say that Miles Morales is a great example of the mostly dead idea of the expansion pack. It delivers a lot of what made the first game successful, subtracts some of the stuff people didn't like as much, and also added or tweaked some stuff that's unique to Miles. I think it's tremendous. The game won't convert you if you were lukewarm on the first one, but it's strong if you're a true believer. Technically, it's one of the most incredible looking games I've ever seen, and it also features some awesome music and sound design, which I could go into, but I won't for all our sins. Playing it put a huge smile on my face and felt like stepping into an old favorite pair of shoes. I think the biggest knock against the game is that it's the younger brother. Tough act to follow, no doubt. We'll see how 2 does later this month when it launches. All signs point to smash hit. Anyway, thanks as always for watching. If you've got some time, consider watching the suggested video. I'll see you there.